What's good, YouTube? Gmo here, bringing you a new video. This one is a little bit different on what I usually do. I don't usually do guides, but I wanted to make a video on this because 3-tick 4 granite mining is extremely fast, and I'm doing a lazy 3-tick 4 granite mining method here, which gives about 100k XP an hour, as you can see in the footage. It can go a little bit higher if you can stay in rhythm a little bit better than I do, and it can definitely go higher if you do the proper 3-tick 4 granite method, but I am not that sweaty, so I am not doing proper 3-tick 4 granite in this method. This is the lazy 3-tick 4 granite. So if you want better XP rates on mining than just motherload mine, and you're alright with being a little click intensive, but not full-on 3-tick 4 granite precision click intensive, then this is definitely a guide that you might want to follow. It is how I did my fishing at Barbarian Fishing as well. The background footage you are going to see is just an hour of me doing 3-tick 4 granite in my lazy method. Unfortunately, while I was doing it, I accidentally clicked off of my screen with the timer, so the timer is not there until the end of the video. I cropped out the beginning part of it, so there is no timer, but you can definitely see the XP rates. The main difference between this method and normal 3-tick granite mining is normal 3-tick granite you are dropping in between rocks, and this one you just go ahead and mine a full inventory and then you drop everything. This makes it a little bit less click intensive, and I miss my clicks whenever I try to drop between rocks, but I still want to get a decent XP rate, so that's why I do it this way. I'm going to recommend some add-ons as well. The first one, if you're having trouble getting into rhythm, is to just turn off 117 HD. Your animation is a little bit more jagged. It's not as smooth, and it is definitely easier to learn the rhythm and get the timing down by turning off 117 HD. I am kind of used to it now, so I leave it on. I prefer 117 HD because I do birdhouse runs in between. The next one is left click dropper. It is a plugin that you will have to go to the plugin hub for, but you won't have to shift drop, and it's not required, but it is recommended. Here are the things you're going to want to type in there. So whenever you pick up any of the granite, you can drop it without having to hold down shift. It just makes it a little bit easier. It's nothing too crazy. Make sure you type it out exactly as is with the brackets and the commas in between. One more plugin you're going to want is the minimap plugin. You're going to want to remove your minimap entirely because it will get in the way of some of the ore. So you want to click on the settings and hide the minimap so it doesn't appear. The last plugin will be stretch mode. You can type in UI and it will pop up. You want to turn it on and turn on the resizable scaling. I will turn that off really quickly to show you what it looks like without it. My inventory's way over here. I'm playing on a big giant monitor, so everything's super teeny tiny. Turn it on and find what works for you, but you want to turn it up or turn it down and it'll slowly resize your UI. It will also make your minimap bigger, so make sure you turn it off. It will cover up the rocks. Once I have everything set, I like to zoom in my camera to where I can't get these rocks very easily because you can run around the corner like that by accident. And I also angle my camera up a little bit, and I'll kind of make a pass through just to make sure I can reach that top granite rock with how far I'm zoomed in, because if you zoom in too far, you will have you can still click it, but you will have a very small area for being able to click. Okay, so I turned on my mini map so you guys know exactly where this is. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. It is in the southwestern corner. This is where I like to mine. There's 5 rocks here. If you misclick this rock and click this one, you can still make the timing between these two. I wouldn't recommend doing all 5, just these 4 and then up here, but you can make the run from here to here as long as you just go with it and don't panic that you clicked the wrong rock. You do have time to make that run. How to get here? Biggest recommendation is the Camulet. I'll talk about that a little bit more here in a moment. You can also use the Pharaoh's Scepter. I cannot pronounce the pronunciation of that, but it will teleport you to the Desert Treasure Pyramid. Or you can use the ferry to Al-Kharid, which takes you from here to here. I prefer the Camulet if you have the quest complete. It's definitely a lot quicker and it's right where you need to be. For the inventory setup, you are going to want 2 clean herbs that are different. You don't want the same ones, because if I was to click up here, it would come up with the interface on how many to make. So you want to have 2 different clean herbs, a good stack of swamp tar, and a pickaxe. That is all that is required. There are some recommended items though, first being the herb sack, so that way you can put the grimy herbs in there and take them out as needed. You will also need a pestle and mortar for sure, and I would highly recommend the Camulet. It teleports you right over here. You can also get unlimited charges for 1 mil if you run back through the dungeon. Also recommending the Infernal Pickaxe over any other pickaxe if you can. It will make it a little bit easier on your drop times. You won't fill up your inventory as quickly. And you are also going to want full Prospector and a Desert Amulet 4. If you do not have the Desert Amulet 4, use Lunar Spellbook and Humidify. You will want a Steam Staff or a Water Staff and a huge stack of Fire Runes, and carry along some waterskins with you, so that way you don't get dehydrated out here in the desert. It is definitely hot. You will take damage. Okay. We're just gonna... So the items required are swamp tar. You're going to want a good stack of it, and 2 clean herbs that you can use to create paste with. I used the Guam and the Tarromin. They're very cheap. They're easy to come by, but you will want 2 separate herbs, because if you have 2 Guams and you try to do the tick manipulation there, it will come up with the interface to make multiple. So you'll want 2 separate ones. You will need a Pestle and Mortar and a Pickaxe. Onto the recommended items, I would recommend a Camulet. You can go over here and go down through the tunnel and get it with infinite charges for 1 million gold, which is a relatively small price to pay. I believe you charge this with camel dung, which is kind of a pain to get. So if you have 1 mil, go ahead and get the unlimited charges. You will also want an herb sack, so that way if you accidentally make a paste as such, you can empty your herb sack, drop 1 Guam, fill it, take your Guam, clean it, and you've got a new one. So definitely recommend the herb sack. It will help you quite a bit. Full Prospector as well as the Celestial Signet is definitely recommended as well. And then I would highly recommend, if you can, the Infernal Pickaxe, because it can smelt the granite and give you some passive smithing XP, but more importantly, your inventory won't fill up nearly as quickly. You will also want to have a Desert Amulet 4 if you can. It's unlimited heat protection. If not, you will want to have your spellbook on Lunars to cast Humidify with a Steam Staff, or a Water Staff and a big stack of Fire Runes as well as Astral Runes. If you're a higher end player, this will definitely help keep your inventory empty, as you can see here, and you can do your rhythm for much longer without having to drop anything. I'm going to slow down some footage to show you guys how to start off your cycle. The first method is, as soon as your pickaxe hits the rock, you can start your cycle and move on to the next rock. What you are going to do is you are going to click the rock, and as soon as your pickaxe hits, click the swamp tar, and then click the herb, and then click the rock. And that is pretty much the cycle. Click the rock, click the swamp tar, click the herb. Rinse and repeat. The second method is to just wait on the XP drop. It is a little bit slower, but I found it a little bit more consistent to wait on the XP drop for the first swing. That's just me personally. Once you get into rhythm, and to get it really going, you want to move on to the next rock whenever your character turns. That is when you can mine the first rock. You want to be fully turned around though. I really struggled with this. I was about a 45-degree angle on my turn and not fully facing the rock before clicking the herb and starting the tick manipulation. You want to make sure your character is fully facing the rock and not a quarter of the way turned. I definitely think that you can push this XP method a little bit higher than what I did. I believe full-on 3-tick granite mining is like 130k an hour, which is absolutely absurd. I peaked at about 105 to 107k per hour, and that is with messing up my cycle. So if you're a little bit more consistent than me, you can definitely push it past 105k XP an hour. I've been averaging right around 95 to 100k an hour though, so you are probably losing 20 to 30k XP an hour in comparison to the true 3-tick granite mining. However, it is definitely easier. I will probably start practicing on dropping the ore in between. I will probably start practicing on dropping the ore in between rocks here soon. It is just very difficult to stay precise on those clicks for me. However, doing it this way, I am getting really good XP rates in comparison to Motherlode Mine or really any other mining method besides 3-tick 4G. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe. I will be continuing some old school content as I get time. Work life has been pretty busy, so I don't really get to play as much as I'd like to, but I do have quite a few videos I want to continue working on. Also, if you want more 2004scape content, I know I kind of left that dead in the water. Let me know, because I do have plenty of F2P footage as well as a little bit of members footage. As always, peace out.